What's up guys, welcome back to another Maya motion graphics tutorial. My name is Gustavo Maya and today I'm going to show you how to link motion drop with Sound Effector. Now, before we move on, you need a sound, so make sure you grab your favorite tune, and you'll also need motion drop, and if you don't have it, I suggest you go ahead and download it from mymotiongraphics.tv. Go ahead into download section and you'll find it there. Once you have that, we can start having some fun. So let's stop with the chip chat and let's get started. Okay, so here we are in Cinema 4D. I have already a tune that I've put together in Ableton Live. Just something really simple that will work as our sound. Let's take a listen. Alright, now this is something very simple, just for the sake of this tutorial. Nothing really fancy, but it will do the trick. Okay, we need first of all we need motion drop. Okay, so double click on that and make sure to save your file. Project save your file somewhere. So motion drop plus Sound Effector. Okay, great. Now that we have our file saved, we'll need to add an effector, sound effector. Okay, now with your sound effector selected, go into the effector tab, and where it says sound file, click on this little icon here and go ahead and pick your file. Now my file is over here, so okay, open it, and if you press play you should listen to something. You should already listen to your track. Now what? Now this isn't working really well right now because we have barely done anything. So before moving on, I'm going to create a cloner and bring the motion drop inside the cloner. Let me just press play for a minute and change the mode of our clone. Change the mode to radial. Alright, now I'm going to use 6 clones, as you can see over here, and I'm going to increase the resolution of motion drop. So go ahead and select motion drop and increase your resolution that's here under mesh. Okay, so just increase that until, I don't know, 80%. Yeah, now this looks good. Alright, now we need to group everything together, so select everything, Alt G. So now we have a group. Let's call this MD plus SE. You can call it whatever you want. And with this selected, go ahead into tags, Cinema 4D tags, and Espresso. Now don't be frightened with this, okay? It will be fairly simple. Okay, now double click on this icon over here and you should get a window like this. Okay, now open up your group, open up the cloner, bring the sounds into the left side and the motion drop into the right side. Okay, let's make this a little bit bigger. Click and drag over here, over there. Just click and drag on a corner. Okay, make some room for some heavy stuff. Okay, great. Now I don't know if you know how to work with Espresso, and I'm not going to go really deep into it, but I'll show you some basic stuff. the necessary for you to do this, and hopefully it won't be too complicated. So what do we need to do? We need to send some information from the sound effector into the motion drop, okay? But okay, so for that we're going to click on this little pink square over here, and we're going to pick object, okay? Now in motion drop we need to tell, okay, so the sound goes from here into where will the sound affect, so what will affect in motion drop. So you can make your experiments, but I'm going for generator distance 1. Okay, now I can't connect this with that, I just can't, it's impossible, okay? And because it's not possible, I need to create another node. So right click over here, new node, motion graphics, sample, okay? Now this will be yellow, no problem so far, and we're going to link this object to the effector on the sample, and now it's not yellow anymore. Okay, now we need to link this over here, but it's not going to be the global matrix, so we need to click on this pink over here and select strength. Okay, so the sound will come inside this node and will come out a different person. So let's bring this over distance. Okay, now there's something missing yet, but let me show you what's happening. Let me just bring this down a little bit, and I'm going to deactivate this cloner, so it kind of makes it simple for you guys to follow. Okay, so now let me press play. This awkwardness is happening here, and what's happening is that the generator is moving, but it's moving at a distance, at a maximum distance of 1, and that's really short. We need to increase that value. Okay, we need to make it bigger, and that's where the range mapper comes in. So right click, new node, Espresso, calculate, and range mapper. Okay, we're going to create this tag, sorry, this node over here, and we're going to bring the strength to come to input and to leave the range mapper from the output into the distance 1. Now this may look a little bit weird if this is the first time you're using Espresso, but if you follow the steps, I guess it's pretty simple. Okay, now this is where the transformation will occur. So the thing is that the louder the sound is, the closer it gets to 1, and if you get silence, you get a value of 0. Okay, if you get somewhere in between, you'll be around 0.5. And what we need to do is tell, okay, if the sound is at its maximum volume, it will become a number of, for example, 500. Okay, and not 1, because that's what's happening here. Okay, the motion drop is moving at a distance of 1, and that's too low. We need something bigger. So select our range mapper. Okay, select it and go into your attributes browser over here, and you can see that, I'm sorry for my voice, by the way. I've been with a cold, and I'll do my best to keep my voice clear. Alright, so input lower and input upper. You need to we need to set only this value over here, output upper, but let me try to explain. So 0 and 1 corresponds to the minimum and the maximum, okay, that comes in, and the output lower and upper will be the minimum and the maximum that will come out. So we want the minimum to 0, and the upper, I'll try 500, and we can adjust that later. Okay, now you will see a huge difference, hopefully. So rewind and play again. See, I told you it was a big difference. Okay, I don't know if that's too much or not, but for now it's okay. Okay, now this is the basic. Okay, this is the basis. Now I'm just going to keep doing the same thing but making it a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to open up these ports over here. So object generator distance 2, generator distance 3, generator distance 4, and so on and so forth. Okay, and this is the range mapper, but I want to make a new one. So right click, new node, Espresso, calculate range mapper. Okay, and I want to make a new one because in one way I could just link both of this or all of this into the same node, but the thing is that it would be I'm going to show you. You will get this. So let's go ahead and hide this for a minute, bring to the beginning and press play. Okay, yes, obviously we need some drops, so select your motion drop, go into generator and check all of the drops, and now let's press play. Okay, the thing over here is that it works, but they're always at the same distance from each other, and if we check the cloner, it may look a little bit weird now, but in the render it will look better. But there's not much of an interest over here, so what we can do is change a little bit these values over here. So like this one, the maximum is 500, and the second one, the maximum can be like 300, for example. And we can actually just command click and drag or control click and drag if you're in Windows, and make some copies of this and slightly change the values. Okay, so 500, I don't know, 400. Just bring this over here and just make some copies and change the value 600, and I don't know, I'm just messing, 550, and we need one more. Okay, one more, and last one will be 250. And now I'll just click and drag over here to clear this ports, and just link each one of the range mappers to our motion drop. So each one will control the value of each of these settings. Okay, and the strength you can just bring all over here like so. Okay, so what's happening? The sound comes from the sound effector, goes in this little thing, and then comes out in the values between 0 and 1, and it goes into one range mapper, and this range mapper transforms the maximum volume to something around 500, and what's in between, somewhere between 0 and 500. So from 0 to 1 it will transform these values to something around from 0 to 500, and these guys will do the same, but the upper value will just be different. Okay, and let's see what's happening. Okay, it's just a bit different, no problem. Alright, what can we do more? We can animate as well the size, so the radius of the motion drop. So let's create another port over here. So on the blue icon over there, blue corner, go into your where is it? Generator? no, it's in mesh. Yeah, that's right. Mesh radius. And let's create another one of this. So let me just make some room over here. Okay, let's create another one of these. So right click, new node, Expresso, calculate, range mapper. Okay, and bring the strength over there and set the output to radius, but this time I want to make the upper value, so the maximum radius will be 50. And I'm just guessing, guys, so you can later on try with your settings. So if I increase this value over here, so last range mapper corresponds to the radius, let me just set to 100 and you'll clearly see the difference. Okay, if I change another one right here, let me make some big change. So from 600, let me just hit 1200. Okay, you see the big gaps. Sometimes you see the gap. Let me make this bigger, so 4000. There you go. Okay. Now I'll leave this up to you. We'll just leave that at 600. And sorry again about my voice. And this is done. You can obviously mess up with the seeds and make it a little bit more random, and tweak the speed as well. I'll leave that up to you. And I suggest then that later on that you render this guy and mix the sound with the render in a compositing software like After Effects, for example. That's what I did. So output, select your output, maybe something like this, full HD, like a boss, 29, 97, all frames, and that's it. We can increase the anti-aliasing, and maybe in mesh, in our motion drop mesh, just push this a little bit up. We don't need, probably won't need that, but anyway. And let's create a camera. So target cam, and move the camera to the position. So make sure you have your camera selected, and let's just zero out everything over here, and then just push over here. There. Now pause over here and go cameras, use camera. Okay, now with the 4 views I can then choose a little bit the position of my camera, bring this a little bit further, okay, like so. Maybe change the focal length to super wide, or maybe wide angle. Super wide, why not? Press play, click on the viewport, and I hope this works. Okay, now I'm going to save this file and mix it in After Effects with the sound, and I hope you guys did the same. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Keep up with the comments. By the way, Motion Drop has been a success, and thank you all you guys that have donated and that have that gave me your feedback. I'll see you guys in another tutorial. Until then, bye bye.